Hi everyone, my name is Tichaona Zvidzayi. I'm a student from Rhodes University. Currently, I'm researching under the topic of ICT for development. Today, I'm going to present a paper which is entitled LTSP Client Image Maintenance, utilizing a virtualization player to support educators to directly manage classroom applications. Also included in this paper, we have authors Alfredo Tenzoli and Nomsanhlolo. Before we proceed, I would like to introduce some terms that are going to be the core concept of this paper. The whole paper is based on GNU Linux operating system, and the main technology is going to be LTSP, which is Linux Terminal Server Project. It is a free and open source GNU Linux add-on tool that allows computer to build from a server machine. And the computer clients can be thin clients or thick clients. A thin client performs most of its computing on the server machine. A thick client computer performs most of its computing locally. Also, I'm going to define about the term which is called chroot or change root in full. It is an operation that modifies the apparent root directory for a process and their children. And a virtualization player is a software that emulates one or more computer systems within a host operating system. Also, moving on, my research is based on the project which is called the Tichaona Living Lab. It is a joint initiative between Rhodes and 4-tier universities, and it focuses on co-creation of ICT solutions to bring sustainable and meaningful infrastructure to poor communities in South Africa. Then on this diagram, you can see we have nodes which are clustered here, and this one, and this one. In these nodes, there are computer labs which are using the LTSP infrastructure, and it's connected via the whole network. On this slide, I have a diagram which shows the LTSP server, and it's connected to an Ethernet switch, and they are both connected on the same switch with the external network, in this case, which is the internet. And also connected to the switch, we have three terminals: terminal 1, terminal 2, and terminal 3. These terminals can be connected as thin clients or thick clients, or on the previous version of LTSP, there's a possibility of having a hybrid network which includes both of the intern clients on the same network. Then we move on to the motivation and problem area. The motivation of this paper is to create an LTSP deployment blueprint that allows educators to manage applications without having to know the GNU Linux command line interface commands. Also, while chroot is good for maintaining the LTSP client image when considering the host computer resources, it is not user-friendly to educators. And giving an example for educators who are in Tichaona Living Lab, most of them, they won't have like a strong IT background, so it's intimidating for them to start learning Linux command lines. So the suggestion was to introduce a virtualization player that will offer a graphical user interface, and this will allow educators to have the full control of their environment because they can choose which applications to install. They can uninstall, then they can manage how everything is conducted without relying on the LTSP administrators. The aim of this paper is to give teachers the ability to manage their applications on the LTSP server machine, as it's supposed to be under the control of LTSP system administrator, who may not have knowledge of the application needs of the classroom. Giving an example of a sound educator who is teaching sound technology. They are the ones who are the best trained in terms of knowing which applications they should use and how to use it, and the administrator doesn't. Most of the time they don't have that deep knowledge compared to the actual educator who's doing the actual teaching. So this is achieved by using the new version of LTSP 19 virtual machine feature to maintain the client's image within a GUI environment. On this side, I'll describe the methodology which we took in order to come up with this paper. An experimental research was conducted using the new version of LTSP, which is version 19.04, which came out in 2019. Then we simulated the whole LTSP network in a lab using a gigabit Ethernet switch and a server with 8 GB RAM, and the processor is 2.6 GHz. The building of the client image was set up so that educators will be able to build and manage in a GUI environment provided by the virtualization machine. This was achieved by using a virtualization machine as opposed as creating a root environment, which is not easy to do using a graphical space. On this slide, I'm going to compare how the two methods are different to each other. On the left side, on the root mode, the educator or the administrator has to open up a terminal and type in the Qt tractor, which is like an example of a music application. Then they have to type in the commands, like we can see here, apt install Qt tractor. Then afterwards they have to regenerate the image using this command. Then they have to regenerate, they have to set up the pre-execution environment, then set up the NFS protocol, then they have to compress the image. Then on the right hand side we can see on the virtual machine mode, educator can open a VirtualBox or a VMware. Then when they open VirtualBox and VMware, if their operating system desktop is using Snapstore or Ubuntu Software Center, they'll search the application. When they find it, they'll just click, and it's a click, then everything happens. Then when they are done, they click a customized by script. The customized by script here will contain these commands from the imaging IPXC NFS init RD, but the educator will just double click, then everything works. On this slide, I'm going to discuss the results of the experiments and the research which is on this paper. So although root is better in terms of computing resources, because it takes less spaces compared to installing a virtualization player, which will use more computing space and storage on the server machine. A virtualization player will allow educators to manage, which is to install, uninstall, or explore applications they wish to use in their classroom environment without having to know the command line commands. An educator can log into a server machine and have a look and feel of how the client image will behave without having to go to the terminals and clients to see if everything is working well. This is a huge advantage because the educators will have a full control of their environment. They will manage their applications without having to rely on system administrators. In conclusion, experience from the circular living lab shows that educators have inadequate knowledge about the Linux commands. Therefore, it is necessary for them to use a graphical environment which is user-friendly and easy for them to manage, and so that they can see what they are doing. It is my belief that educators must have full control of the educational environment without relying on the LTSP administrators or IT personnel. Maintaining the client within a virtualization player brings educators a step closer to control their own environment. The inclusion of educators on what applications should be installed contributes to the quality of education and the overall success of ICT4D projects. Thank you.